So your sphere of influence, according to National Association of Realtors, how much of your business will come from that bucket, from bucket number one? If you make $100,000 this year, what percentage of it will come from that bucket, according to the National Association of Realtors? 70%, exactly right. So according to the National Association of Realtors, 7 out of 10 people said that they did business on their transaction with someone they either knew already or knew of, or somebody referred them by a church member, family, friend, or whatever. Okay, so that's 70% of your business. So if you're going to do 300,000 this year, okay, that means that you're going to get from this one bucket 210,000. That's the majority bucket. So what I always teach to my mentorship master students is that you focus on that bucket first until you have it right. Okay, and it only takes about 90 days to get that bucket right. I use what I call an 18 touch system. I teach about it in the book. We touch a person 18 times a year, and that's how we do our sphere of influence. Okay. Now, if you are working your sphere of influence, if you show me a person that's not getting enough business from their sphere of influence, I show you a person that's not working their sphere of influence correctly. Because here's the truth. I was on a webinar this week where I was teaching this concept, and I write about it in the book as well, that I could take 20 people. Okay, I can take 20 people, and from those 20 people, I'll be able to do 80 to 100 deals. Okay, if you gave me a database of 20 people, I could do that. However, there's a caveat: they got to be the right people. Okay, they got to be the right people. In other words, every one of you has a database. So let's say you have a database of 200 people. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to get your true fans. Okay. Your true fans, the people that you know. Like, I got a listing referral last night from a guy that always sends me listing referrals, whether I ask him to or not. He sends me 2 or 3 a year. So you basically take your true fans, and you'll find that you have, your list is an A, B, C, or D. D stands for what? Delete. I mean, you take your list and you categorize it. I got A clients, I got B clients, I got C clients, and I've got D clients. D stands for delete. Get them out, right? Because some of you guys, I got a big database. You don't even know these people. If I called them up, they wouldn't even know who you are. And it's okay to have not mets in your database, people you haven't met. It's okay. But don't pretend like that's the solid core group that you have. Look at your database and find out what is it really. So if your database is 200 people, you probably have 20 people that do business with other people. Okay, what does that mean? Like a dentist that sees people every day, a doctor sees people every day, a therapist, a healer, somebody that's in a business where they see people every day, and they might have a friendly demeanor and they like you. You take 20 of these people. I'm just going to throw this out because I talk about it briefly in my book too. But you take those 20, and you come up with a program. For example, it could be wheelchairs for warriors. Wheelchairs for warriors. It's a cause. And what I want to do, I'm just making this up. So let's say I want to provide 25 wheelchairs, okay, this year to veterans, okay, 25 wheelchairs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take $100 from every closing, and I know that it costs $500 for a wheelchair, because I've got a place, for example, that has them refurbished. So how many deals would I have to do to get a wheelchair? 5. Okay, right, 5 deals. So let's say I want to do 100 deals this year. 100 deals, that's my goal. Okay. Now, I have to do 5. It basically takes 5 deals to do 1 wheelchair. How many wheelchairs am I going to provide? 20. Okay, so let's change this number to 20. All right, so you kind of back into it that way. So I say, I want to do 20 wheelchairs. And then what I do is I come up with a list of 20 people that I believe can help me get those 20 wheelchairs. Okay. And what I do is I call on that person. I say, hey, Dr. So-and-so, you see people every day, don't you? Yeah, I do. Well, here's what I want to do this year. This year, I want to provide 20 wheelchairs to warriors. I call it Wheelchairs for Warriors. And here's how we're going to do it. And I lay the plan out for them. And Dr. So-and-so says, and I say, are you interested in helping me? What's he going to say? Absolutely. And then when he starts to pull out his credit card or checkbook, I say, put it away. I don't want any money. All I want from you is every time, see, here's what our team has decided to do. Every time that we sell a home, when we close, we're going to donate, and for every 5 that we do, we're going to provide a wheelchair, and it's going to be in your honor or whatever in the group. And I've got a group of only 20 people that are doing this. Are you in? Yeah, I'm in. Okay. Well, how many people do you think you can send our way that either needs to buy a house, sell a house, piece of land, whatever, that needs to do real estate? How many? Because you see about 30 people a day, don't you? Yeah, I see about 30 people a day. Great. So how many can you do? Well, I can probably do about 2 a quarter. Okay, I'm going to put you down for 8. 8 this year. Then you do a spreadsheet of all your people that have told you they're going to do what they're going to do, okay? And then you keep them accountable. Accountability. So every month you say, hey, we've already gotten, this is our group, and everybody knows each other because they're part of a program. They're a member of this elite group. And you say, hey, guys, our group has already done 3 wheelchairs this month. What are we going to do? Hey, Dr. So-and-so, I put you down for 8, but I didn't get any this month. You think you'll have some for me next month? You see what I'm saying? See what you're doing? Now, what would happen? Now, I guarantee you if I had the 20 of the right people, I would be able to get at least 5 from each because they're behind a cause. Now, what would happen if I said, hey, Dr. So-and-so, I want to do 100 deals this year, okay? And the reason I want to do it because I got my eye on this new Benz. You've probably seen it yourself. But I guarantee you I want it. It's on my goal board. It's in my dream book, and I will have that Benz. Now, are you going to help me, Dr. So-and-so, to get that Mercedes-Benz? Is that person going to help you? Probably not, okay? Because people do not care about your selfish goals. People come to me all the time. Now, I want to make $1 million. Why do you want $1 million? Okay? I've made millions and millions and millions of dollars. But I had a why behind it. I knew why I wanted to make that money. Okay? Most people don't know why. Well, I never had $1 million, so I just want it. Okay? It's not good enough. Okay? You can get people to do anything you want if they know why they're doing it and they have a big enough reason. Does that make sense? So what you guys are doing with your, if 7 out of 10 of your dollars, just put this on your wall at home. Put $10 bills up there and just realize that 7 of them come from this bucket. Okay? And if your program isn't pimped out, okay? You don't have a pimped out program to get all the money that's in the pockets of those people that's in that bucket. You're just not getting all that money, right? Somebody's getting it. I guarantee you, because here's the thing. If I have a database of 200 people, okay, now each one of them has a database of how many? How many people? If I know 200 people, let's say I know 100 people, okay? How many, now this guy right here that I know, David Speedy, how many people does he know? At least the same as I do, right? 100. And that person knows 100, right? So I guarantee you, if you looked at the collective ability of what you have in your database, and you're telling me that you're not making at least, because after I was the second year in real estate, my second year, I think I made $250,000. After that, never made less than $400,000 a year. Never, okay? $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 every single year, okay? You think I was in feast or famine? Of course not. If you're making $40,000 or $50,000 a month, you're good, as long as you don't go crazy trying to spend $100 a month. And you can do that. I've done it, okay? So the thing is, this is just one example of one program that I could put together called Wheelchairs for Warriors and get one person part-time in the Philippines, because I've got several people that work from the Philippines for me, been working for me for over 5 years. And I could actually put somebody over that program to administrate it. That cost to me would probably be about $600 a month. And I would just give them the system of what they're supposed to be doing, and they just run with it, okay? By the way, you can get people to make calls for you, because a lot of people want to know, how do I outsource my phone calls? Because people expect to hear from me. That's a lie. They expect to hear from you, but they don't mind if you do it through other people, okay? There's a guy that was supposed to come and shoot my video today. And you know what he told me? Yesterday or the day before, he says, man, Tim, I can't make it, but Tim's going to be there. And he's going to shoot your video. I never met Tim in my life till this morning. I'm like, cool. So Tim's representing you. That it doesn't matter to me, you know? So here's the way you do it. So if I have my VA to call one of my people, first thing I tell them, look, such and such, my business partner, okay? I'm doing Wheelchairs for Warriors, and I have a business partner in this program, okay? Her name is Noemi. That's her name, Noemi. She's my business partner. Why do I not, bless you, why do I not call her my assistant? Yeah, she's my assistant, but why do I not call her my assistant? Pompous, what else? It gives her less authority. Yeah, I say, and she is a business partner, is she not? I've partnered with her in this business. So I say, hey, my business partner, Noemi, is going to be calling you every quarter or every month, and we're going to be going over our numbers. I put you down for 8, and is it okay? Do I have your permission to call you once a month? Noemi, my business partner, is going to do it, but do we have your permission to call you once a month just to review where we are with this program? Oh, yeah, you got my permission. You see what I'm saying? And you keep the whole thing on track through other people. So I'm not saying you have to do any of this. You don't have to do none of this, and you can still do your 100 deals. I'm just saying this is one thing that you could be doing. Right there is going to get you at least, if you shoot for 100, you'll get at least 50, okay, with the right people. There's a lot of other things that you're not doing with your sphere of influence. Like I teach an 18-touch system, a monthly newsletter, okay, a quarterly phone call, you know, every quarter, and then you could do I would do a quarterly mailing and maybe a phone call every quarter as well. Okay. Now the phone call doesn't have to come from you. Okay. Now that's a 20-touch. You can scale it down. I teach an 18-touch, but that's a 20-touch if you want. Now here's how you have your VA do it. The VA calls and says, and they're your business partner as well. Everybody that's ever worked for me has always been my business partner, even to this day. So my business partner calls and says, Knolly wanted me to give you a call, and Knolly asked me to tell you this, and Knolly this, and Knolly that. And what did I feel like when that person hangs up the phone? What do they feel like? That I called them, that I was, because here's the thing. Like if David Speedy or let's say Lucas had an assistant, and he had his assistant call and say, hey, Knolly, Lucas wanted me to give you a call and let you know that he's going to be running a little late to the meeting, but, you know, Lucas really appreciates everything you're doing, that you're having this meeting. And, hey, Lucas really, I teach him that. Those are scripts. I teach my assistants to talk that way. You know that my assistants can actually reply to my emails better than me. Like, they know how I talk. They're like, hey, buddy. I'm like, what? Just, you know, some gal in the Philippines that's been working with me for so many years that her languaging is just like mine, okay? People can teach, you can teach people to do this stuff. So, by the way, I do still check my emails as of today. That might change in the future, but I haven't outsourced that yet. But everything else I outsource. I read a book called The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss years ago. And he's the one that told me to go on a media fast. Just stop watching the news. Just see how you do. And I just stopped. This was back in probably 07, maybe? 08. So anyway, so your sphere of influence should be touched correctly. I know that most agents are not doing it. Probably 87%, according to National Association of Realtors, are not even touching this bucket correctly. So if you don't have this program in place, why are you trying to farm and why are you trying to get a niche going? Okay. Now, let's say you have this and you're like, Knolly, man, I'm already doing 40 to 50 deals. Like I have a gal right now that works with us. She's already doing 40 to 50 deals from her sphere of influence. She's not doing this system that I just taught because she never heard of it before. I just broke this to her. She's going to probably double that number just with this system, okay? So my theory is once you're doing that, what's the next bucket? Your farm.